My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. Hair, why? In every Do I Want It video, I choose a handful of new releases and I talk about whether or not I want them. Now, I'm on a no-buy year. I'm not buying any makeup or skincare this year. I'm also not buying any clothes or homewares. But I can still think about new releases and think about whether or not I want them. Just because you want something doesn't mean that you have to buy it. And so this is my way of doing kind of a combination anti-haul and wish list series, even though I'm on a no-buy year. And I've also found that thinking about whether or not I want something and noticing whether the nature of my desire is changing shape over the course of my no-buy year, it's kind of a way of checking in about how the no-buy year is changing me. Picking out some new releases and asking myself, do I want it? It's one of the exercises in thinking about myself and my habits that my no-buy year is turning out to be kind of emblematic of. The first product I'm going to talk about are these new blushes that Kevyn Aucoin just released, and I want them. In fact, today's video might as well be called Stuff I Want. Stuff I Want. Stuff I want except for one thing that's dumb. That's what I should title this video. Stuff I want except for one thing that's dumb. And the first thing that I want is one of these Kevyn Aucoin blushes. I am gripped by that old familiar feeling. I love the aesthetic of Kevyn Aucoin. I'm really attracted to the editorial beauty brands that make wearable products. And I also know for a fact that these powders are really finely milled because I have the Neo highlighter in Sahara. It's the big giant pan. I'll go get it and show it to you. I'll try to show it to you. It's broken. I think some of you have seen it before. It's broken, and also the ombre is a little bit less apparent now because I've been using it and I blend it together a lot. But this side is more of a pale champagne and this side is more of like a bronzer. This side is more of like a blush bronzer color for me, but it's kind of like a highlighter that goes from champagne to bronzy. The highlighting side has enough of a bronze attitude, enough of a bronze veil to provide some warmth for my skin without it looking like there's color on it. And for me, as a very, very pale toned person, that's really a useful product. And I reach for this product all the time. I absolutely love it. And even though I've had it now for well over a year, I think, and even though it's busted, the packaging's really dirty and the stuff is all broken inside of it, it hasn't lost its feeling of luxury and specialness to me. It still is an incredibly special product and it feels expensive, it looks expensive. I use it all the time, and I think as we move into the summer months here in Los Angeles, I'll be reaching for it even more, because if I really want to go glowy bronze, that's my product. It's perfect. If you're really, really pale and you struggle finding a bronzer that doesn't make you look super made up, I really recommend the Kevyn Aucoin Neo Highlighter in Sahara. But that's not the product we're here to talk about. The point is, I really love that product, but I'm always troubled by its size and its price. So these Neo blushes are kind of like the little sister to the Neo Highlighter. I love the Neo Highlighter and I love blush. I'm like a blush junkie. So the combination of my enjoyment of Kevyn Aucoin, my love of the Neo highlighter, and my love of blush just makes this product a sure thing for me. I want it. It rings all of my bells. If this wasn't my no-buy year, I would have already bought one. Like, I would have bought one as soon as I saw them on Sephora. I cannot today. My head is a cloud. I am non-existent. I am a non-entity. I am like the scent of a flower floating in space. How can the scent of a flower floating in space make a YouTube video? It can't. All I'm trying to say is, do I want this blush? Yes. It is a pure yes. It is a total yes. I want it, and I know that my love of it would endure. Like, I would get it, I would have it, I would use it all the time. And the reason I'm saying this is because I want a lot of things today, but I'm trying to start to recognize the difference between my different types of wanting. Like, there are things that I want for silly, crazy, out of control reasons. And then there are things that I want because I really know myself. This is the second thing. This is the thing that's going on my actual 2019 wish list. And I won't be surprised if I end up with one of these blushes. The one I have my eye on is called Rose Cliff, but they all look gorgeous. I just think it's a brilliantly designed product. And I also know that these powders perform really well. The Kevyn Aucoin powders, they're really luxe, really beautiful. I look forward to purchasing it. See you in 2019, Kevyn Aucoin Neo Blush in Rose Cliff, and maybe in all the other colors too. That said, I don't mind waiting because my desire for this blush reminds me of other things that I have that I love. My appreciation of this new product makes me think about the blushes that are in my collection and how much I love them. And it also makes me think about how much I love this product. I want it, but there's no pain. I'm very, very happy with the way that this desire will unfold. The way it will unfold is that I will continue to think about it as a treat that I might get for myself way far in the future, months from now. Months. Almost a whole year. And in the meantime, I have blush. And I love blush, and I'll use it and I'll enjoy it. I don't know if that makes sense. It's gratifying to experience this unpainful desire. This love and appreciation for this special thing that is not causing me any anxiety because I know I'm not going to buy it right now. The second product I'm going to talk about is the Milk Makeup Watermelon Brightening Serum. No. Just no. This is the one that I think is dumb. I have no desire for this product. And I should preface by saying that Milk is a brand that doesn't compel me. I think that the packaging just looks trashy. And it's funny because I'm not immune to the modern, simplistic, girl on the go, chic, easy makeup vibes. Like, I got really sucked in by Glossier. I have purchased and tried almost everything from Glossier since the inception of that brand. But I think Glossier did that kind of packaging really well because it is easy and durable, but there is like a hint of beautiful design, luxury design about it. Even though it doesn't feel expensive, it still feels very tasteful. I don't feel that way about Milk. I don't like the clear packaging. I don't like the font very much. It looks super cheap to me. It just looks cheap, like drugstore cheap. And I think they put a lot of effort into that aesthetic and into their concepts of like the stick formulas and the cream formulas. And I think that the actual products and their performance is secondary. It's a secondary concern for the brand, secondary to their marketing and the format of their products, if that makes sense. And those feelings are supported by the actual ingredients in their formulas. This is a serum. They're marketing it as a skin care product. My understanding is that a serum goes after an essence or toner in your routine, but before oils and before moisturizer. A serum needs to be something that layers well with other products and that soaks in completely so that other things can soak in on top of it. This serum stick has as its third ingredient bispeg 18 methyl ether dimethylsilane, which is a silicone. And silicones essentially create a layer that blocks things from going into your skin. And I'm not against silicones on principle. In fact, I appreciate a silicone primer because silicones will kind of fill the pores and create a barrier between your skin and everything you put on top of it. So I have acne prone skin. My pores are prone to getting clogged. My pores are prone to getting clogged. I take advantage of the barrier aspect of silicones to protect my skin from makeup, because makeup can be pore clogging no matter what. I layer on all my skincare, then on top of that, I'll put on a primer that's essentially a layer of silicone, like a protective layer. And when I do that, what I feel like I'm doing is sealing all the skincare in and keeping all the makeup out. So if you put it into your routine right in the middle, you're essentially making it a lot harder for everything that comes after it in your routine to soak into your skin. So if you have no skincare routine and you have kind of beautiful, perfect skin already, and all you want to do is grab one kind of lightweight vanity skincare product to feel good about putting on your skin, then yes, I do think that there are ingredients in this serum that will help brighten and help a little bit to prevent wrinkles, because it has matrixyl in it, and that's what matrixyl does. But it's not an effective step in a multi-step regimen. Maybe that means that it is for their demographic, like they're marketing to kids who don't have skincare yet, and they're like, haven't you ever wanted to have skincare? Just grab our stick serum with silicone in it and put it on and your skin will look smooth, because it will, because that's what silicone does. And there's a third thing which has been said all over the internet, which is that rubbing a stick of something on your face and then capping it and then uncapping it the next day and rubbing it on your face again, especially for someone who's bacteria conscious, who's acne prone, seems like a really bad idea. Then there's the price. Also, it's $36. You can get a little bottle of matrixyl serum from The Ordinary for around $10, and that will be a much more effective layerer. I just think that for me, this is dumb. I have absolutely no interest in anything from Milk Makeup, to be honest, but especially in their skincare. Another skincare product. This just popped up out of the blue and everyone seems to be talking about it. It's the Summer Fridays Jet Lag Mask. Summer Fridays is a brand that was started by two women, and this, as far as I can tell, is their only product. They launched this one kind of multi-purpose mask, and it's on Sephora. I think it's like really hot in beauty right now, in kind of like the editorial beauty world or the trendy beauty. I don't know why. It just is a thing. And I totally want it. I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, like a new and very effective mask that these two women put all of their energies into developing. It's their one perfect product, and it's in a beautiful chic looking tube, and it will make your skin feel like you just had a facial. You can either leave it on as a cream, or you can wipe it off, or you can use it as a mask. Like, I love everything about it. I love all of the claims. The ingredients look really good, and the one downside is that it's really expensive. It's almost $50 for a mask, and I would totally fall for all of the hype and buy it if I weren't on a no-buy year. I feel differently, though, about this than I do about the Kevyn Aucoin blushes. The desire is a different desire. The desire for this is like a hope that it is as amazing as everyone says, and a willingness to buy in to that hope. But when I think about it and my feelings about it, and I think about the Kevyn Aucoin blushes and my feelings about them, my very concrete and yummy feeling. Like I feel yummy about those blushes. I think about them and I'm like, ooh, ooh, like what a yummy, perfect product. That's not how I feel about this. Instead, I'm like, oh, I think it's the next big thing. Everyone says it's amazing. Maybe my skin would look amazing. Maybe I'd look amazing. I gotta get it. I should get it. And curiously, I feel an urgency about this. Like I'm annoyed that I can't buy it now. I don't feel that way, as I said, about the blushes. I'm willing to wait for those. I think of them as a really special treat that can wait. And that's just telling to me. I know what would be happening if it was last year. I would buy it just to try it, and then there are 3 possibilities for how it's gonna perform. One is it's absolute trash and it wrecks my skin, and I never wanna put it on my skin ever again. If that happened, I would return it, okay? The other possibility is that it's incredible. It's everything everyone's been saying. I put it on and my skin is like better than it's ever been, glowing, plump, it's a miracle. That's what I would be hoping for. But the third possibility is that it's just a decent moisturizing mask. It soothes, it plumps a little bit, makes my skin feel good, it's nice. I wash it off, that's that, right? And that's the much, much more likely scenario than either of the other 2. And in that case, I wouldn't return it. I would keep it and use it. But I have a bunch of other masks that are like that. I already have a bunch of moisturizing masks. And so I would have just spent $48 on something that I don't need and that I don't really love that much. And so that's why I'm really glad it's my no-buy year and that I'm saved from giving in to my desire to buy this very hyped up product. Let's talk about Fenty. The Fenty Beauty Body Lava. Girl, I want it. I want it. Bad reviews be damned. I want this $60 bottle of glitter for my body. Nothing sounds better to me right now than being able to smear a liquid product all over my legs, my arms, that makes me glimmery and shiny. It would be so good for Tango. It would be so good. And all the reviews are saying, it's sticky. And then all the other reviews are saying, you're using too much. If you don't use too much, it soaks in and is not sticky. And of course, I am choosing to believe that the second reviewers are the ones who know what they're talking about. In spite of all of the mixed reviews, I'm choosing to believe that this is a brilliant, perfect product in my mind. I'm choosing desire when I think about this product. I want it to be everything that I dream that it is. I want to want it. And I do. I want it. I don't know if I would buy it if I wasn't on a no-buy year because it's so expensive. And I'm no stranger to expensive things like skincare, even expensive makeup. I'm not shocked, for example, by the price of Natasha Denona eyeshadows. I think that there should be a high end and there should be a low end and there should be everything in between. And sometimes it's really nice to have super nice and also super expensive things. I understand why there's a luxury market and I sometimes participate in it as a consumer. And I'm not against it. I'm not a person who on principle is like, oh, it's over $50, too expensive. I'm not like that. But this is too expensive for what it is. And I saw the product being advertised on Instagram and stuff for a long time before I found out the price. And even though I don't usually swoon and clutch my pearls over a price, I did over this. When I first saw the price, I was like, what? Is that for both of them? That was my first thought. I was like, is it $59 for both colors? And then I was like, oh, it must be for the set. The Body Lava and the Fairy Bomb. That must be what $59 is for. But no, the Fairy Bomb is another like $40, $50. It's another ridiculous price. Like, no, this should have been $28. If this were $28, I would be tearing my heart out of my chest right now because I wanted so bad. Like, I want it. The price is sort of saving me from the pain because I'm really glad that I can't buy this because it's too expensive. And if I weren't on a no buy, I would be so tempted, and I would be really, really hard pressed not to use the Sephora sale as an excuse to buy this. You know how in my recommendations video I was saying if you wouldn't buy something at full price, then don't let the sale convince you to buy it because it's on sale? That is the advice that I would be having a hard time following with this product specifically. I'm like, oh, it's just too expensive at $60. I can't pay $60 for this, but I want it so much. So I'd be like, well, if I can get 15% off, then that makes it okay. I'll just do it. And that would be so stupid because it would still be almost $60 because 15% off isn't that much. From the very comfortable and solid vantage point of my no-buy year, I can see myself wanting this, and I can see all of the rationalizations I would be making to try to find a way for it to be okay for me to buy this. The Sephora sale would be just one of those rationalizations. And I think I would probably end up doing it because I know how I was. I was addicted. I was really willing to trick myself into doing whatever would give me that delicious feeling of acquiring the thing that I want. Now, this is limited edition. It's not going to be around in 2019. It's not ever going to be mine. And I'm totally okay with that. I'm at peace. My no-buy year has now been going on for over 3 months, and I'm really used to it by now. It's not paining me, but the answer to the question, do I want Fenty Beauty Body Lover? How do people say this? The answer to that question is, hell yes, I want it. But all of what goes on underneath that, all of what goes on around that, all of what that leads to, all of which is moot because of my no-buy year, all of that stuff is so deep to me. It's so interesting. Examining the fact that I want this product is helping me peel back the layers of my compulsions. Okay, this Tatcha thingy. The Tatcha Silk Canvas Protective Primer. If you haven't seen it, it's like a little pan of primer, but it's like it's something you scrape a little bit off of the top and spread on your face as a primer. It's like it's a primer with silk in it. It's a primer. I don't know. I want it. I probably would. I might be buying it if it weren't a no-buy year. And when I say that, I don't mean that next year I'm gonna go back to being like that. What I mean is the old me would be buying it. I don't mean that all the other years before or after 2018 are gonna be like that. Because I think next year my habits will be different. I think I will have changed. Going forward, I'm not the girl who would have immediately rushed right out and bought all this stuff or placed a huge order during the Sephora sale. I'm not like that now because it's my no-buy year, and my hope is that I'll never be like that again. And I think I won't be. I think I'm going to successfully and permanently change myself. That's my goal. That's why I'm doing this project. It's not just to save money this year. It's to effect permanent change. The old me would have been sorely tempted to buy this Tatcha Silk Canvas because I've seen so many amazing reviews of it. Jay Kissa has raved about it. Jackie Aina has raved about it. Everyone is just saying that it's like a dream primer. And it also has skincare benefits. And I believe that a primer is a skincare benefit because of what I was saying earlier. It creates a barrier. So this has that. Its first ingredient is a kind of silicone, but then it also has other nourishing ingredients in it that are really good for your skin. Apparently it performs really well. It's very luxurious, which is very attractive to me. I just am into it. I'm into this kind of thing. I'm drawn in, I'm suckered in. My desire for this falls into a similar category as my desire for the jet lag mask, the Summer Fridays mask, in that I want it because of hope. I want it because I'm hoping that it lives up to the hype. The way people are talking about this primer, it's the best primer ever. It's better than anything I've tried. And so I'm inspired by that to hope that it is, that if I could get it, that I would look better than I've ever looked, that my skin would be better than it's ever been. The hype has caused me to hope that it is the primer I've been waiting for my whole life. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the foundation from Sunday Riley, the Influencer Clean Longwear Foundation. Same thing. I want this for a lot of reasons. It's makeup that has skincare in it, and the fairest color, color 100, says very fair with golden undertones, which is the exact description of my skin. Very fair with golden undertones. That's very alluring to me. I'm a total Sunday Riley girl. I use a number of Sunday Riley products and I think they're amazing. So this just thrills me to my very bones, the fact that Sunday Riley came out with a skin nourishing foundation and the lightest color from the description seems like it might match me. And it might not. Eventually, someday I'll get a sample of this and I might find out that it's not light enough for me, because that's true of a lot of foundation ranges, especially one that only has 20 or so shades, which is what this has. It doesn't have very many shades. But I want it to work and I want to try it, and I would definitely not put it past the old Hannah to buy this right now, hoping that it would work. I know how I was, and this rings all of my bells. And I'm not a foundation wearer, as you may know. I pretty much just use concealer to even out my skin tone, unless I'm doing a full beat for a photo shoot or something. But part of me is always wishing that I could find an extremely skin-like and healthy foundation that I could wear without looking like I have makeup on. There's something about this Sunday Riley foundation that kind of promises that. And I also think that the foundation that I use when I do a full beat, which is NARS Sheer Glow, is a little dry for me. Like, it doesn't look that great after a couple of hours. I don't have very much experience with foundation, and I'm always kind of wondering if maybe there's other formulas out there that would be better for my skin, that would look better on my skin. And this is one I would totally be willing to try because of the brand, because of the claims, because of the color description. I don't want it with that pure, clean assurance with which I want the Kevyn Aucoin Neo Blush. If I had never embarked on this project, and if I was going through the current VIB sale in the same way that I went through the VIB sale in November, these are the products that would make up my cart. This would be my purchase. What I'm sharing with you, this Do I Want It? Another name for this video is like my fantasy VIB sale shopping cart, because these are the things I would be buying. I would be buying that Neo blush. I would be buying the jet lag mask because I really want it to work and be amazing. I would be buying the body lava because I just want to spread Fenty Beauty shimmer all over my body. I would be buying the silk canvas in the hopes that it's the best primer in history. And I would be buying the Sunday Riley Influencer Clean Longwear Foundation in the hopes that the lightest color matches me and that it looks really skin-like. So I would have all that stuff in my cart. I added it up earlier and it came to like almost $250. With the discount, it would be around $200, which that's the exact size of the order that I placed in the November sale. That was pretty much it. It was like a 250-ish order that I paid around $200 for. I would be buying all of this stuff. I would. And 4 out of these 5 things, I would be buying them just to try them. I think that they would all probably be fine. They would probably be fine. Or they might not be fine. Like maybe the Fenty Beauty would be horrible and sticky and I would never wear it and it would sit on the back of the shelf. Maybe the primer would be hard to use and I wouldn't reach for it. Maybe the mask would just be ho-hum and it would just end up in my mask drawer with all my masks. There's a good chance that that's what would happen. They wouldn't live up to my hopes. They wouldn't live up to my expectations, but I also wouldn't return them. Like that's probably what would happen. So I would be out $200. I would have a blush that I really love, and I would have 4 products that I bought just to try that just turned out to be okay. That's how I see it. From the point of view of someone who isn't going to buy anything during the VIB sale and who isn't going to buy any of these things right now, I'm able to be really honest with myself and my assessment of how the situation would be likely to unfold. So with the exception of the Milk Makeup silicone serum, with the exception of the Milk Makeup Watermelon Brightening Serum, I want these 5 things, but I'm really glad that I can't buy them. I'm really, really glad. I'm sorry this wasn't much of an anti-haul, but I hope that it was useful. I hope that it's informative to hear me talk about what it's like to want things from the vantage point of a no-buy year, because it really is revelatory. It's different. I am seeing myself and my desire for products and my relationship to new releases in a new way. It's ever changing, it keeps expanding, and it's really exciting. This round of Do I Want It in particular has reinforced for me how glad I am that I am doing this no-buy year. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you spending this time with me. I hope you'll subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I hope that you will give me a thumbs up and a comment, and I hope that you will take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the